So let me ask you this: well, when you had to go through the casting call, was it as hard as it is for a normal person to come in? I mean, you went in front of Lee Daniels. Was that like working with? I know he's a new up and coming producer, director. He's put out what, about five movies?
It's what's he's doing so many things. As you know, he's working on Richard Pryor. He's done Precious, The Butler. Empire is a thing he's worked on. He's going to continue to work on. What was that like? It was intimidating. It was kind of intimidating, but it was nerve wracking. But then you go back to, they're all people. Everybody's a person, and they're human like me and like you, and so you go in there and you do your best. And I think what also something that prepared me for this audition is in like 2006 I was flown out to audition for Saturday Night Live, and so I you go in there and you meet, and I walk into this room. You walk on the stage, and where they shoot scenes for the episode. And, sitting in this room is all the producers of the show, writers. Tina Fey was sitting in the room at the time.
Wow.
And Lauren Michaels, who was the executive producer and, of Saturday Night Live. And, you walk into that room and you're on stage and there's this light on you. And, that's pretty intense.
Wow.
It's pretty intense. And, and we had to sit and wait for a little while before. And I remember being in a group with three great performers from Chicago here. Mary Beth Monroe, who's on Workaholics on Comedy Central. Kevin Fleming, who I did NBC's sports action team with, and a wonderful, talented guy who just left Second City, Steve Waltine. We all flew out together.
What was it like working with them?
Oh, they were great, man. They're great people. Mary Beth Monroe is so super talented and so versatile, and Kevin Fleming's such a brilliant actor and a great writer, and Waltine is the same way. Steve's great, but when we flew out to Saturday Night Live, we didn't work together. You had to audition on your own with original characters and stuff like that, and it was I had Andy Samberg, who went on to being on Saturday Night Live, doing great. Bill Hader was in my audition group.
Wow.
When we were loaded, man, that group was loaded with people.
Man.
And so we went there, you audition. And
now, do you ever get starstruck?
Yeah, I guess starstruck, just appreciation for the work that people have done is more what it is now. When I did one of my first films, when I did The Weatherman with Nicolas Cage, when I first day walked on the set, you walk into a room and there's Oscar winner Nicolas Cage sitting there for the read through. It can be a little intimidating. You go, oh man, this guy's done everything. He's top of the mountain. As far as performers go, in a lot of ways. Winning the Oscar is one of the things a lot of people set out to do. That got hard. That was kind of scary at first. But what really helped me after that is really when I became a lot stronger in my faith.
Okay.
And just understanding that, God is in my life. God is before all. So I have to. That's
what's your denomination?
I'm a believer. I'm a Christian. I believe in Jesus.
No particular faith or anything.
No. I definitely have raised Baptist in a lot of ways, but realized. Gosh, it's so funny. That was a sermon yesterday. A lot of times in when it comes to being a believer, there's a lot of rules that man can sometimes put on you, and they make some sense more important than others. And that's not personally what I believe. I believe that God wants us to have, that Christ wants us to have a relationship with Him.
Okay.
And be obedient in that relationship. So
okay.
that's vital. So that's what we try to live, how we try to live our lives. Did you make it okay? Yeah, okay, good. All right, good.
Oh, okay.
All right, good. No, but yeah. So we go to Vineyard Christian Church in Evanston. So
Okay.
yeah, great church.
Let me ask you this question: with as an actor and a playwright, I'm gonna ask both of you the same question. Do you feel that same-sex marriage or police brutality has a place in stage plays right now? I know it's
I think absolutely. Okay. And because that's the truth of the world.
Okay.
That's absolutely true. Yes, and you need to show. And if you're going to connect with anybody, you can't be judging people, man.
Mm-hmm.
And this is just me, and people can. I'll gladly have a conversation about it. But God put us here to love people, and no matter where they are. Because, I know personally in my life, I have not always been in the best place. There's been some really dark times in my life. Mm-hmm. And in order for me to come up out of those situations, if people were sitting there pointing a finger at me and judging me, I would have never got out of them. And so I can't judge anybody, man. Mm-hmm. All I can do is do what was shown to me, and that was love. Okay. I can love people. So do I think same-sex marriage or relationships and police brutality should be a part of theater and stage play? Absolutely. I think because it's the truth. It's the truth of the world.
You know what? I think also that I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I agree 100% wholly with Antoine. I think we need to tell the truth. And same-sex marriage is something people same-sex attraction.
I see it's a passion. I can see it in your face.
No,
say what you got to say. Come on. You can pull the microphone close to you.
All I'm going to say is it's really, this is your walk with God. Mm-hmm. And I am not somebody to call you out. I have my own walk with God. And I read the Bible every day. And I let the Bible show me how to, tell me how I'm supposed to live. You read the Bible, you do your thing with God. Mm-hmm. If you are in a relationship with God, that's your relationship. Okay. And so it's up to you to that's aside from, we need to tell the truth about what life, what life is, and all the pain that comes along with it, and everything. So as far as Antoine, my beliefs about what you should do with your life and what's out there, we're not going to look at you and judge you for what you're doing. And our job is to love everyone. That's our job. So Jesus didn't talk about it for a reason. You know what I mean? Like, he talked a lot about loving people. Okay. So that's what he talked about. That's what
I hear it in your voice. I hear the passion. You want to say more. Don't feel inhibited. This is gospel, smooth jazz, progressive talk radio. So say what you have to say. We beat down the callers that don't want to say the right thing. But at the same time, do you feel that too many plays are back to back molestation, rape, and Do you feel that's too much? Is it overrated, or should they?
Here's the thing. As writers, one of the things that we are taught, and I think every teacher ultimately gets this. I would hope that any teacher worth salt would get this. You write what you know. Ultimately, you write what you know, and if we think for 1 second that there is not pain, and that there is not molestation, that there is not police brutality, that there is not same-sex marriage, if there is not still racism in this world, then you are deliriously misconcepted. Writers need to come from a place of truth. Okay. And if they don't, people see through it, especially in towns like, Detroit, towns like New York, Chicago, St. Louis, California. People see through it.
Wow.
People see through falsehood or fluff. people want some things to be fluffy. They need that. We need those palate cleansers in our lives. But as far as getting down to the hard-nosed truth of things, and I think that's another thing that happens. It's imperative that we do that.
Oh, we got another caller calling in.
Okay.
Thank you for choosing Smooth 90.5 FM. Who's calling in today? You're live on the air.
Yeah, this is Tim Muhammad from Detroit, Michigan.
It's who?
Who is this again?
My name is Tim. I'm calling from Detroit, Michigan.
Tim Muhammad, what's up, brother?
What's going on, bro?
How you doing, man? God bless you, brother. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I actually was hoping that I hadn't missed the opportunity. I forgot that there's a little bit of a time difference between Detroit and Chicago.
Right,
Right. Did I miss out? So I wanted to call in and
good to hear
say
from
how
you,
much I love this brother, how proud I am of him, and just looking at where he's come from just what seems like a few days ago when he and I walked into that little building on Woodward together
Hey, man.
a few years ago, and then looking at him now, where he's becoming one of my idols now. So I'm very, very happy for all of his success. And, I'm talking about not just a great actor, but a wonderful, beautiful human being.
Let me ask you a question. What is it that he has inspired you to do more in your craft?
Well, to be honest with you, personally speaking, I kind of stepped away from the whole performance thing, over, I just had some personal challenges in my life, and then some decisions and some crossroads that I had come to, and started doing other things that were still artistically grounded, but just not, in the same vein as what I was doing when Antoine and I met. But watching him and a few other people that I know very well and I've seen grow as well, him and Keegan and some other people who I've met along the way. I've not just been inspired, but I've been intrigued with watching the development and the growth of people who are serious about what it is that they start off trying to accomplish, and that never giving up spirit, that never giving up attitude, that keeping your nose to the grind and staying focused on whatever it is you're trying to accomplish, and knowing that God's delay is not God's denial. And whatever someone wants to give you that he doesn't want you to have, you can't get. But whatever God has for you, can't no man keep from you. And he's living proof of that.
Wonderful, amen.
It's so funny that Tim and I auditioned for Second City together back in Detroit, and we were both cast in the cast. And Tim's a brilliant writer, and I was able to see some of the things he wrote.
Appreciate that.
Gosh, man, we just talked a couple weeks ago, last week, man. And it was I was going to audition and we didn't get a chance to finish, but. In the time that Tim and I did work together, I learned so much from him about improvisation, just watching him work, stay in the moment, be truthful of who you are. And it taught me so much. You think back to all of the people who had an effect on you or those pivotal moments in your life. And Tim was definitely a part of that pivotal moment. And we came into Second City and, at that time, it was Second City, Detroit, and there's a lot of African American performers in Detroit, and who weren't getting these opportunities, and we were both very, very blessed to be able to go and work at Second City in Detroit, and he was it was great to have that ally going in there, because it's like, oh man, what am I gonna do? I'm nervous, I'm scared, and he was just like, bruh, let's do our thing. And it's like, okay.
Wow.
But man, I'm so glad you want to get back into the game, because you have so much to offer, man. You have so much to offer the world with your writing and just your talents, man. And it's great to hear from you, man. It's so great.
Well, brother, I'll say this, and I'll get out of the way for the next caller. It's you never really know what it is you're doing and how you're affecting other people.